This is homework set 11, factoring. We're going to take out the greatest common factor and use the grouping method. Question 1, this is going to be a factoring by grouping problem. Now keep in mind that anything inside of a set of parentheses is just considered as one single thing. Just got a longer name. Like this name is 3x, this is a plus 5b. Now do you see, well you can't help but see, but that a plus 5b is common to both of these terms here, right? So I've got two terms. I've got this one here, and I've got this one here. That a plus 5b appears in both. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor out that a plus 5b. Now if I remove that, what's left? Well, look at this one here. There was an a plus 5b. We removed it. So what's left is that 3x. Now there's a minus. Over here, there's a 5y and an a plus 5b. We removed the a plus 5b, so what's left is that 5y. And this is factored. You can check it by multiplying it back out. Question 7. Now back here, I said that was question 1. I just got my numbers mixed up. That's actually question 6. So I changed that. Let's look at 7. Now 7, again, two terms. We've got this term here, 4a squared and a plus b squared, minus, and then this term right here. So we've got two terms. Now notice what's common here. What about 4 and 2? There's a 2 common, so let's take out that 2. And what about a's and b's? I've got a squared and b squared, right? There's no a squareds in both. There's a's over here, but not over here. There's b's over here, but not over here. So I think that's the best we're going to be able to do is take out that 2. But now I notice that I've got an a plus b squared here and an a plus b squared here. All right, so let's take that one out. So I can take out an a plus b squared. Now if I do that, what's left? All right, I'm going to write parentheses, and what's left? Well, let's see. 2 times what gives me that 4? So just do a division. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Now, there were 2 a's over here. We didn't remove any of them, right? There were 2 a's. We did not remove any, so there's still an a squared here. Now, there was an a plus b squared. There was 2 of those here, but we removed it, so that one's gone. Now, what's left over here? There was a negative 2. We removed a 2, so we're going to have a negative left. Right, do a division if you like. Negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. Write the 1 if you like. There was a b squared. We didn't take out any b squared, so there's still a b squared here. And then what about this one? A plus b squared. There's right there. We removed it. All right, so this is what's left. That is our factored form. Question 8, we've got 3 terms. What's common here? We've got a 2, a 3, and a 6. You know, there's nothing common to all of these. What number goes into each one of these? Well, 2 and 3 go into 6, but that's not good enough. 2 does not go into 3. So there's no number, no one constant that I can take out. So let's do the best we can now. What about x's? There's 2 here, there's 1 here, and none here. So there's no numbers in common, no constants, no x's, right? I've got 2, 1, and none, so there's no x's in common. It looks like the only thing in common is this x plus 5. So let's take out the x plus 5, and then what's left? If you take out the x plus 5, right, just remove it, what's left? 2x squared. Take out the x plus 5, what's left? Minus 3x. Take out the x plus 5, what's left is a minus 6. I think we're done. That is the factored form. Now here in question 9, we're still going to do this by grouping, but if you look at it right as a whole, originally here, what have we got common? Anything? There's a 3, 15, 3 will go into 15, but not the 4, Okay, so there's no common number. There's no common constant. There's no constant that goes into 3, 15, 4, and 20. Now over here I've got A's and B's. I got a B, so there's no A here. And then I got X's over here. So it doesn't look like there's any one letter, right? A, no A here, so A's not in common. B, I got a B here, but no B's over here. So there's nothing in common here as I look straight across. But here's a clue. I've got an even number of terms. So when a book writes an even number of terms, you're probably going to do this by grouping, and we're going to group together two terms. Now, here's what I notice. In the first two terms, 3 and 15 have a 3 in common, and then there's also a B in common. So the first two terms, look what we have here. What's common to these? A 3 and a B. Now, in the next two terms, what's common here? 4 and 20. 4 goes into both of those, so there's a 4, and then there's an XA. I got an X, so there's an X in common. All right? So in the first two terms, there's a 3B. In the second two terms, there's a 4X. Now, here's what I do. I'm going to look at this, the second group. Look at the second group. Take out that sign. So use that sign right here. So in the second group, that sign in the first term is what I'm going to use. So I'm going to use a plus 4x. So here's what we're going to do. Out of the first group, take a 3b. Now, just in the first group, if you take out a 3b, what's left? There was a 3, we removed it. There was an AB, we removed the B, so what's left is an A. And then, negative 15 divided by 3 is negative 5, so I'll write a minus 5. And there was a B, but we removed it. So that's it. All right, so it's 3b and a minus 5. Let me close that off. Now in the second group, I'm taking out a plus 4x. So take out a plus 4x. So plus 4x. Now if you take out a positive 4x, a plus 4x, what remains? All right, there was a 4x. We removed it. So what's left? A. There's an A left. And then over here, if I take out the 4x, negative 20 divided by positive 4 is negative 5. There was that x, but we removed it. So what do you know? What's left is a minus 5, and that's the way these are set up to work. You group it. So I grouped together the first two, then I grouped the second two using that sign. Now look what happens. A minus 5, A minus 5, so that pops up. So there's an A minus 5 that I can take out. And then if I take out that A minus 5, what's left? 3A, take it out, plus 4x. So what's left is, well, 3b plus 4x. There we go. All right, here in question 10, I don't see anything in common, right? I've got A, but no A over here. And then there's a B in here, but nowhere else. So there's nothing in common all the way through. But I noticed there's an even number of terms, so I'm going to try grouping. Now I'm going to group together. I see in the first two terms there's an A common, and in the second two terms there's a 2 common. So I think I'm going to try that. So in the first group I'm thinking taking out an A. In the second group I'm taking out a 2. Now I notice that in the second group, all right, you have to do this every time. In the second group, you've got a plus sign here, so use that sign. So I'm going to take out a plus 2. So doing so, we'll take an A out of the first 2. And if I take that A out, what's left? Well, there were 2 to begin with. We're removing 1, so there's an A left. There was also a B, all right, so there's a B left. Right, I'm just taking in the first group, take an A out. So there were 2, take out 1, I'm left with an AB. And then what am I left with over here? Now, negative A divided by positive A is minus 1. In the second group, take out that plus 2. Now, if you take out that plus 2, what's left? Well, if you take out that plus 2, what's left is an AB. And then negative 2 divided by 2 is minus 1. That's what's supposed to happen, right? Now you notice this. So what's common here is AB minus 1. And what's left if you take that out? If you take out that AB minus 1, you're left with an A here and a plus 2 here. There is the factored form. And that ends questions 6 through 10 in our homework set 11.